Hey, Math 30-2. So today we are going to do regressions. Now, I'm going to share with you, if I haven't done already, or should have, our Desmos regression sheet, very similar to the Desmos regression sheet that we used in the previous ones. But this time at the bottom here, you can see that I'm regressing it using the little tilde symbol here of a sine graph. It's got an empty chart up here. Save this. I'll share you the link for that. So you can load that up yourself. And then it's pretty much just the same process. Here we're going to use a sine regression to do this. Now, if you want to use your graphing calculator to do this too, you can do the exact same steps we did before, where you go stat, you go edit, you put your x1 and x in the first column, your y in the next column. And when you go stat, calculate, you're going to go scroll down here. I'm going to do everything by Desmos, but if you do it by your calculator here, you want to go down to sine regression. So C here. I don't know what Sine regression. It's not going to work for mine. You're going to hit that button. Again, remember you could store the equation in here, so you can go under vars or second trace and then put y1 in that spot. If you don't have the vars there, you can go vars, go function y1, right, and then hit calculate. Mine's just going to spit out and just not work because there's nothing in there. But that's what it would look like there if you did this. Okay. Looking good? Okay. So I'm going to use Desmos to do this one. All right. I'll share you the link to the file. If you want to, you just use Desmos too. It works the same way. We're not going to worry about R squared values for this one because all you're doing is sine. So I don't really care what the R squared ends up being. But this is the data I want to put into my chart. Okay, my L1, L2, and then I'll just hit the regression. So let's try this out through Desmos here. So my chart says 0, 1, 4, 7.5, and 10. X values. Negative 16. Okay, it's starting up already. It looks kind of weird. Negative 20. Okay, it's looking stranger. Let's go to 15, okay, looking better. 49.5, looking pretty good. And 19.59, sorry. Okay, so it's a really good R squared value here, 0.9999, because remember you want to get that pretty close to 1. So there's your A, B, C's, and D's. I just want to make sure I'm in the right mode. I'm in radian mode, so it looks pretty good. Okay. So once I have this all set up, I'm just going to stretch it, make it look pretty good. There's that. I want to at least get one full wavelength in there from like crest to crest or trough to trough here. Looking really good too. Looks pretty good. Okay. So then we pull out our chart here and we copy down some of the piece of information we need. So we wanted the A value. So my A value over here, you can see is negative 35. Oh, yeah, to the 3 decimal places. So negative 34.972. Okay, my B value, 0.50, 3 decimal places. Yeah, 3 positive. My C value is 120.497, that's good. And my D value is 15.229. Awesome. Okay, so once we have all of that, I can just go back here now and just plug in the things that we know. So the amplitude is always positive, but it is the A value. So it's going to be that 35 number, 34.972. My period, because I use the graph in radians, remember our period is going to be 2 pi divided by our B value. So 2 pi divided by this 0.503 number. We give an approximate number here. So 2 pi divided by 0.5. So I get 12.491, okay. Vertical shift, remember that's just your D value. Usually they don't say shift, they say displacement. 15.229 up, because it got moved upwards. They must have put a little upwards in there. This gives us a midline, because it specify that anywhere. I'm just going to write that right here of that same number. A horizontal shift, remember our horizontal shift is C divided by B. Now, that's not the way this is supposed to be written. It's supposed to be written this way now. Right, so that's just an old way of writing it. But C divided by B, so that's my C value again, it's 120.497 divided by my B value of point. Awesome. So I'm going to get 120.497 divided by 0.0. Well, I just want to top of my calculator here, but I get 239.557. Okay, and it's positive. Now I'm okay with this number, right? But it's positive, so that means it actually moves left. My range, remember, that's my midline, which we decided was 15-ish, minus my amplitude. My amplitude is a positive number here, so it's 15.229. I'm gonna write that down for this first part. 15.229 minus the 34.972, so that's going to give me my min value. I'm going to write that number first, so that's going to be 743, sorry. And my max is going to be the same thing but with a plus sign, so it's going to be 15.229 plus 34.972. My max is going to be 50.201. YER, awesome. Looking good. I just want to double check something in the calculator. I'll be right back. All right, so I quickly typed in our calculator and I realized that the regression of these two things are slightly different from each other. Notice the A values, they are the same, essentially the same values, a little bit rounded off a little bit. Don't know if the R squared value is the same for both of these. But the A value is essentially the same, but this one's negative, this one's positive. Okay, I'm okay with that. The B value is essentially the same. Okay, pretty close to what it is. I'm okay with the decimals off a little bit. The C value is completely different. My D value is approximately the same. Now, the reason the C value is different and the A value is not the same is it seems like they're trying to keep the A value positive. So they shifted it differently to get the same graph. That's okay. Like, it doesn't matter which way you do this. I'm really not going to ask too much other than what is the period? The period is going to be the same for both these graphs. What's the vertical shift? That's going to be the same for both graphs. The range is going to be the same for both graphs. The horizontal shift is going to be slightly different. So rather than moving 239 all the way to the left, they could be moving it to the right, just slightly, rather than going up the other way. That's fine. I'm okay with that too. Yeah, it seems kind of weird that they use a 120 here when it could have been a much smaller number. I'm okay with that. Doesn't really matter. I'm probably not going to ask too much about what is the horizontal shift. I'm going to say, is there a horizontal shift for this graph? Okay. Cool. All right, so back at this here. So we discovered everything else works out pretty nicely if you use either one of the two graphing calculators, the Desmos or the other one. So let's try it again. So here, we're not going to ask for a phase shift in this anyway. What's the amplitude? What's the period? What's the range of this data? So you're just going to go back into here. Just delete a bunch of this stuff out of here. So you just go delete, delete, delete a bunch of times. And then you can put the X and Y's in this spot. So all the X's, I'm going to go 0, 4, 6, 8, 12. Seems like I skipped one there. And 16. Okay. Then in the Y coordinates, I'm going to go 10, or sorry, 210. 15.66, 18, 10 again, and then 2. Okay, so it looks like it fits really nicely here. Looks really nice. Now I have my A's, my B's, and my C's over here. So remember to find your amplitude. Your amplitude is just going to be whatever your A value is. So my A value is going to be 0.00, so to the nearest, let's go to the nearest hundredth, 2 decimal places, 8.00. Gives me like 3 sig-digs. My period, remember this graph is in radians, so I'm going to have to go 2 pi, that's my original period, divided by my b value, which is 2 pi. Remember, this is my a value. Is going to be 0.392707. I'm going to put all the decimals there. I'm going to round it afterwards. I'm going to divide by 392,708. So we get a period of 15.9999. So that's, I say, 16.0. Looks pretty good. If you want to put an extra 0, there you can. And my range, remember your range is going to be from the midline plus my amplitude or minus my amplitude. My midline here is 10. I'm going to sneeze, sorry. Excuse me. So my midline is my D value. I'm going to minus my A value. Not my A value. My amplitude. Sorry about my sneezes there. And then my other one's going to be my D plus my amplitude. So my D is going to be 10 minus 8, so 2. That makes sense because the graph goes down to 2 as well. And then my max is going to be 10 plus 8, so that gets me 18. You can see that's the top point over there too. Now, that may or may not work out the same way all the time, but it just happened to work out here that the min and max points are given to us. So sometimes you could throw out a little twist in there and say, what is after the regression, what is the maximum point? A lot of people will just put 18, even though maybe after the regression, it might go up a little bit more, go like 20 and then come down. So 20 would be actually the maximum point. So you have to be very careful. In this case, it just happened to work out. Okay, so the next one here, what we're gonna do, I think we're gonna just, I'm gonna just pause the video here and split it into 2 because we only have 2 more questions here. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, you could try out these next ones yourself and I'll see you in the next question or the next video. Bye.